you're auditioning for Game of Thrones to have the theme song in the background. Yeah. That would be a don't. Yeah, I mean, you've got to know who you are, and you've got to choose a photo. It's got to be absolutely true to who you are. It's got to look like you, so that I'm not shocked when you walk into the room. I mean, some people Photoshop their headshot up so much that I barely recognize them. I mean, there are certain, let's say, rules, for lack of a better word. You need to be looking, into the camera lens, which is something that you don't do when you're film acting usually. But for the headshot, you look right straight into the camera. You want the camera to be shooting straight across at you. Yeah, your headshot is like your logo. And it's an opportunity to brand yourself. So yes, if you have a Facebook account and a Twitter account and an IMDb page and a website, you use the same image each time. So that's a type of brand. We immediately recognize, oh, that's Shimmy. Oh, yeah, that's him. I've seen his photo there, and this is the type of guy he is, and this is what he plays. And like I say, it's got to look like you, and it's got to reflect the archetypes that you play, that you are able to play, that you play well, or, you could spin it so that it's towards the archetypes that you want to play. Well, I think it's okay to be nervous, and it's okay that you want to work. But try to think about, instead of making your objective that your objective is to book the role, think about what is the objective of the character. Throw your energy into that. And remember that it's a process. So even if you don't get the role that time, you're meeting, you're having another meeting with the director, with the casting director, and that's all good. But nerves are good. I mean, nerves, that means you care. That means you want it. And you can use that as energy, as positive energy. So, just go with it. Use it. Use the energy. I recommend that all actors have their own websites because it's the only place where you can control the content yourself, because otherwise, I mean, IMDb is great, it's important. Spotlight is great, it's important. All of those things. But then you have to go by their format. And your website is a place where you can present the material as you wish it to be and as you wish the world to see you. So you can spin it. You can put as many shots as you want. You can emphasize certain keywords. Like if you won an award, you can, put that at the front of the website, for example, whereas you might not have that opportunity on on IMDb, for example, Yeah, so on your show reel, just remember that they've done studies that people stop watching clips after 2.5 minutes. So whatever you have, make sure the good stuff's at the beginning, good and fairly recent. But, if your best stuff is a couple years ago, put that in the beginning. Just make sure that I don't miss it, because I might stop watching after 2.5 minutes. I'm also recommending that actors can have an assortment of clips on their Spotlight page or on their website, so that the casting director has the option to choose what she wants to watch. If she's casting a drama, perhaps she wants to see these, dramatic scenes, and you give the option of, okay, here's my clip from NCIS or whatever, or here's my clip from such and such comedy show, so that if I'm casting a comedy, I can look at your comic material, and the viewer likes that, because the viewer likes to have a choice. Whereas with a show reel, I'm forced to watch whatever scenes that you've presented in that order. I think the show reel is particularly handy when you're looking for an agent, because an agent wants to see the whole body of work, and the casting director might be more interested in certain roles that you've played. Well, I mean, it's going to sound obvious, but the most important thing is that I can see and hear you. And like I say, it seems obvious, but there are a lot of people who they don't light themselves properly. It's very important to see the eyes, because that's where so much of the acting happens, is in the eyes. And you might want to invest in a separate mic. They're not all that expensive, and it's a good investment in your career so that you can be heard. Also, the off-screen reader. You don't need an actor, you really don't. You just need somebody who can quietly and neutrally give you the lines, Because I have seen tapes where it's like the whole thing is about the off-screen reader. You know, the off-screen reader is too noisy or too funny or something like that. So, and to have an off-screen reader, it's very off-putting when you're talking to nobody. And I realize that some actors, they have difficulty sometimes because they're in whatever situation where they don't have somebody to read with. But I have seen actors successfully do it in such a way that they can record the voice themselves and play it back, or even have somebody on a speakerphone giving the lines. Really, that can even work. So one mistake that is made, and it's quite easy not to make, is you've got to label your audition properly. Because I found some old audition clips floating around on my computer that never were seen because they weren't labeled properly. And then when I downloaded them, they simply got lost on my computer. Clips called 599. You know, so you've got to put your name on the clip. Again, sounds obvious, but it's kind of like, you know, sending a photo without a name on it or something. So the other thing that I've seen actors do is they just go way too far with, you know, they make a mini film. And there was one guy who was a director too, and he directed it and edited it. And, you know, really, the director wants to do that. So don't take his job away from him. Really, what we want is something simple. We want what we do in the studio, which is just you in front of camera. Your off-screen reader is there. Your eye line is right next to the camera. And that's what we want. You know, if you're doing a hospital scene, you don't have to go and shoot at the hospital. You know, you can just find a place in your home where you've got a blank wall, preferably gray or kind of bluish gray, and good lighting system, and you're ready to go. Yeah, finding an agent is a process, and it doesn't happen right away. I mean, you might be one of the actors who's lucky enough to get one from a showcase right out of school or whatever. But it's about building relationships over time, I would say. So all of these things can help. You know, doing a show at a fringe festival can help, and then inviting agents to it. The agent might come to it and not ask you to sign up, but at least she'll see you. She'll know your work. You know, you could make your own TV series, for example. You could get your own material out there. You can ask people you know. You can ask friends, other actors, casting directors. You can do research on Spotlight, see which kinds of agencies are accepting people like you. Or maybe there's an agency who already has too many people like you, so you need to go to an agency who has different kind of talent. But yeah, all I can say is that it's a process, and be patient and enjoy the ride. If somebody can talk you out of being an actor, then you shouldn't be an actor. I think you have to really, really want it. And yeah, I think that it's not a career for everybody. And if you can find something else that you like to do that's maybe related. I mean, for example, a lot of actors are great writers. This is what I've learned. You know, they're good storytellers, and there's many ways to tell stories. So if you can find something else that you like to do, I would say you should probably do that. Because acting is a tough career, and you have to really, really be passionate and very positive about it. It does no good to be an actor if you're not enjoying the ride. So I would say, you know, once you're not enjoying the ride anymore, that's a good time to quit, probably.